Hello. God, I look
Hey,
forward to Thursdays. How you doing, Taylor?
I'm doing good. How are you
Good.
doing?
I'm doing great, actually
All right.
doing good. It's been an exciting week on the penny stock range. There's been a lot of things happening here recently. A lot of running stocks. I can't say they're holding their strength, but there's a lot of them. How's everybody doing out there today? I see we've got people here already. That's nice. I remember the days when we were waiting for people to come. Good to see you, Kashira. We've got a few of yours in line. You've got some nice choices there. We got the underdog. He was worried about CBIA earlier. Down at those triple zeros, when a stock bounces from 0005 to 0003, it's not a serious crash. That's just where it lives. So, and I think it bounced right back to 0005. So I did see that. Who else we got here? Belmore. Good to see you, Belmore. We got Himalaya lined up. And I've got one here that we're going to start off with right from the jump start. And just to let you know, folks, we are doing this because of Penny Boys. Penny Boys sponsors me because I'm with Penny Boys. Penny Boys is a Discord group. There's lots of them out there, lots of them involved with stocks. This is the one I and Taylor are with. They're a good group of people. I've been with them 2 years. They trade everything from blue chip stocks down to these penny stocks, tokens, cryptos. They have now sports betting. I'm not involved in all of it. I got my niche. They got their niches. I'm sure we have a niche that fits for you. We've got free section and we got paid for section. Go where you want to. I'm inviting you. I got a link down there. Come on in. So let's jump on into this. I'm going to share one with you here first, real quick. We're going to try to do everything real quick so we can do more stocks. So when we get to like the volume and financials, not a whole lot of discussion. Don't want to waste time in those areas, but we do want to get that information. So the first one I want to share with you, if you were doing any scans today or you were following any Discord or Twitter groups, you probably heard about this one, Freight Technologies, ticker FRGHT. Right now it says the price is 71 cents and it was up, or it says it finished at 156% gains. Let me enlighten you to something I just picked up on. You'd have thought I'd have known this for a long time. This gain here is from the market bell today. That is to say, from the gains it made just today. But there was 150% gains from yesterday's close. That doesn't show up here. She was up 326% before the bell this morning. I was monitoring it. I was posting information. And as soon as the bell came on, I seen the percentage drop. And it's like, what the heck? So I ran over there. It hadn't dropped. It had just started from the open rather than from the close. So always make sure when I do scans, I do them from the close and not from the open, because you could be missing everything from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 9:30 the next morning. If it was a run, you wouldn't see it there. This had run because of hot news today, folks. I don't know how I missed it. I saw this late in the game. Freight Technology selected for Amazon Mexico business. They are working with AI with their logistics. They've got things set up down there in Mexico. They've got an app called Freight App, spelled FR8 app. And they just got the contract for Amazon for all of Mexico. Big news. And it's a very cheap stock right now. I don't know anything about it. We're not going to jump through all the information. Just a heads up. All right, let's jump into the first stock I was given to take a look at. This came from Kashira. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. If ever I get it wrong, you know the game. So we're looking at UCAR, ticker UCAR, U Power Limited. Finished today just under 24 cents. Not a bad day. She was up 16% just for the day. Who knows what she did after pre-market, right? On the NASDAQ, remember all these penny stocks on the major exchange, they're free to trade. There's no transaction fees up there. And you can trade at pre-market, aftermarket. You can't do that with OTC either. So let's see what we can learn here. Let's get the general information quick. Very good day. Her volume jumped by about 6 times, maybe 5, going from 2.5 million to 12.5 million. Share structure, right. All right, we want to pay attention here, folks. We've got a real nice even number there, don't we? 50 million shares. Keep that in mind. I don't know what the float is, but we're going to deal with the outstanding. Market cap, 10.2 million. Financials, At the end of 2022, they're at 1.1 million. Got to keep 1/3 of that, and we don't get anything. You get that happens a lot here on the OTC. I'm sure there's something out there. But here's what I wanted to share with you. First off, what does this company do? I had things in the wrong order. This is a company that provides small trucks and vans and passenger cars in the electric market vehicle with a technology of swapping the batteries. Now, we're not talking about swapping the batteries after the car killed it and you need a new one. We're talking about when it runs out of energy, like you would a toy. Pull out the old, put in a new. And if they're rechargeables, you're just replugging them in. That's exactly what they got here. Now, I don't know how they do it. If you pull up on a ramp and this ramp lines you up and a machine just pulls out your battery and slides in another one and you drive away in 3 minutes. And it just charges it to you because every battery has a serial number. So it's not like you even have to deal with people. They've got this technology over in China. And that's what this company is working with, the charging, the sales, the creating of these vehicles. Now, I had found, let's see here, right? The company has made a units offering. They are putting 10 million units on the market. A unit is a package deal. You get a share in it and you get a warrant, usually. In this one, they're giving two warrants, a Series A, which are the ones you and I can buy and sell, and a Series B. Well, there is 10 million of these. So we had 50 million shares in the front door. As soon as, and this is telling us it's done. It's done. There is an extra 10 million that's going to show up here. We just lost 20% value on the stock. 20% of that, 1/5. Now there are two warrants. Warrants are coupons that have time limits on them, and you can use these sometime in the future. When you cash in your warrant, you're going to get profit, and that warrant is turned into a share. Well, that's another 10 million for warrant A series and another 10 million for warrant B series. That's another 20 million shares down the road. That's another 40% shareholder dilution. And down the road, the stock may be up at $1.80, and it's going to be 40% of that, not this. Now, this is an interesting thing here. As I said, these warrants are coupons. Normally, you got to wait for these warrants to become active. They got to hit a price. They've made these active already. They are for $1.20. Now, that means you can buy a share for $1.20 anytime in the next 5 years. Well, right now, the price is 23 cents. Well, think of it as having a coupon for cereal. You go to the store, it's a $2 coupon, but the cereal is $1.75. Well, I mean, you could buy a box for $2. But a cereal is $1.75. You're not going to use it now. But year down the road, cereal is $5 a box. Now you use it, you get a huge savings. Well, that's what this is going on for. $1.20, 3 years, 4 years down the road, they can cash in a warrant plus $1.20. And if the shares are going for $10, they get all that difference. They make that profit. So there is a big dilution already, 20%. There's going to be another 40% down the road at some point. Once it gets over, now nobody's going to use these at $1.20. Why buy a share for $1.20 if they're going for $1.20? That's stupid. You're probably going to wait for it to hit $2.40 at least. You want to at least double your money. But patient people will just watch this company grow and really make some money. That's how Warren Buffett makes a lot of his money, is with warrants. Was there anything else we had over here? I don't think we really don't have anything else here. We covered the financials. Let's just go over that chart now for UCAR.
Okay, so I have two different ones up. So here's the first one, the daily chart. Obviously not looking very good.
No.
It's only been around since April that I can see on this chart. I mean, I'm sure the company's been around longer, but these big red bars with the volume started like last Monday, so the beginning of December. But let me go to this one, share here. This is the hourly with the same ticker. So this is it looks like it's trying to come
It
back,
looks a
maybe.
little better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I always try to find something positive, but this has happened before where it's like, oh yeah, it's recovering, and then it ends up coming back down. So this could be just another bear flag. We might be headed back down, but this news that has come out, I guess, that's been bringing in all this volume, actually, most of it is downward volume. When it started, we were over here in the 70 cent range. not
Now, I
in
don't
the
know how
23.
long. I think it was about a week or 2
Yeah, it's
weeks
been
that they were selling all these shares. And sometimes I've actually seen stocks run when more shares hit the market. A lot of times they tumble. I don't know
so
why it's rising when it should be 20% less.
well, this is what the 4-hour looks like. I mean, so the beginning of December, they just had this major sell-off from $1.56 all the way down.
I think that's when, all right, that's when they announced it
Yeah.
was at the beginning of
Mhm.
December.
Yeah,
So
the
it's hit the
beginning of this
floor.
year.
Hopefully that's the floor.
Yeah, this could have been. So this I marked it was about 17 cents.
Wow.
Yeah, so when you blow it up a different way in the like of the lower time frame, 15-minute, it looks a lot better, obviously. I mean, we can even have a little
So
trend line here.
there's something happening here. She may be
Yeah.
bouncing off the floor. This may be a good time to at least put it on your watch list.
Mhm.
Check on it, see if she starts crossing that 200. It could be a good time to get in. Good catch.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
jumping into that next one. Hey, we got here. Oh boy, look at you. You're fast. I like that. I wasn't ready for it. So let's look at the next one is Eyeless. All right, I've been hearing some buzz about Eyeless, but I didn't focus in on the buzz. Eyeless is this Illustrato Pictures International, finished today at 0078, real cheap. She dropped a little bit today, 1.2%. She's on the pink. She's current. She's got the validated information. This is the only validated information you normally get with pinks, unless they opt in to the 10Ks and the 10Qs. Otherwise, you get disclosures. So this looks pretty good right here. Now, Eyeless has been around for a while. When they came onto the market, they picked a business, they stuck to it, and they've been growing. It's fighting fires. They deal with all sorts of aspects of fighting fires, whether they're selling the big vehicles, the fire trucks, or little electric vehicles, the wands for the fire guys. They have metaverse training in 3-dimensional for this. They use sprinkler systems and alarm systems in the high rises, and they're doing a lot of other stuff, and they're international. And this is never going to be out of style. It's never going to be out of fashion. Fires happen regardless of what the economy is. That's just in it. So I figure they're going to be around a while. So Eyeless, let's see what we got here for the relative volume. There's a nice jump going from 4.5 million, almost tripling to 12.5 million today. Share structure, lots of shares. This is what some of the buzz is about. People aren't happy with all the shares. I don't know how many public offerings they've had. But in this down market, companies are having to generate money, and sometimes this is the worst of it. So they have 1.6 billion outstanding. Insiders have about 184 million, but that still leaves us with 1.5 billion shares in the float. Financials for the company. Well, you can see they've been making money just for the last 2 years, and it's jumped fast from 11.2 million up to 78 million. We know it's millions. We got to add 3 zeros to any of the numbers on any of these charts. And let's see, we've got a skipped one here. Don't know why. They're on a high right now, 23.5 million for June. I'm sure they just had one come out here for. Did I grab that up? No. But that's the news there. So they are pulling in profits right now, and there probably is another quarterly report out right now. Yeah, right there. No, that's something else. Oh, 1012 GA. Right. Oh, that's good. This goes with the news I'm going to be talking about, the spin out. You got to get these filed whenever you're going to move on to the major exchange. They've got this special form people look for. But here it is on 11/24, they came out with it. So you can jump in there and we can see exactly how much their last quarter was. But this is probably the big news right here, is that they've got a spin out of Quality Industrial Corporation. They put this one in. They are waiting to hear back. So it's a waiting game right now. Everybody is waiting for that. Then they say they've got another acquisition that they are considering. They're finalizing for emergency response technologies. So they got one new company coming in and one that they brought in and nurtured and is now big enough they're going to spin out. And they tell us down here that you're going to get a dividend. But, and I found this very interesting, it says the company plans remain firm in place for Eyeless to pay a special equity dividend in the form of Quinn stock to Isla shareholders of record as of the date of Quinn's New York Stock Exchange American uplisting. Well, everybody knows you're going to get a dividend, and you don't call it a special equity dividend. So I'm not sure if this is a play on words or just to highlighting the dividend, or if this is something uniquely different. I'm still looking for more information on that, because if you want to give me something, I want to know what it is I'm getting. Let me see. ILIS confirms that it has agreed a revised repayment plan with AJB Capital Investment for a repayment of 1.2 million convertible promissory note. Under the revised payment plan, the note must be repaid by mid-2024. So they're going to have to come up with this money, as far as I can tell. This is where it gets a little bit deeper. You got to get into the details. So they got a note that's coming due that they are going to have to pay. Was there any other news? Probably, knowing this company. Just shareholder updates. There's been a gap in news from February of this year to October. And they used to put out news. I mean, I remember I used to talk about this company. There was a lot of news to always be talked about. So I don't think there was anything there we missed. Disclosures, I think we got all that.
Was there anything important from September of 2022? This is, I think you asked me before we started if I had looked at this with you before, and I have. I marked it. We looked at it back in October.
That was, that's another 12. I don't see anything unique here. Let me see.
Oh, 2022. This was a while back. I mean,
2022.
You'll see the chart. We've seen it before, and it's kind of outrageous.
Well, this shouldn't have to go back too far. There we go. All right. So you said, no, look at that. We have a huge gap here. What did it? All right. No, there is nothing there in the filings. In the news, I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'll go digging through the news while you show that chart.
Okay. Oops, wrong chart. There we go. So we had looked at this in October, and I had marked this as a resistance. It obviously never came over that. That's the daily chart. We had a very small, like tight consolidation, not small. It lasted a while. From October 2019, you can see that, to January 2021. It was very tight. It was like 0006 to 0015. And we're headed down towards that area right now. Again, I mean,
so
it
what
got
day
all the way
did
up
that huge spike take place?
Huh?
What day did that huge run start?
Huge one? Okay, so, well, there's several runs. It's the initially started in 2021, but the whole market was running, so I don't really know
that big one.
So this one was fall of 2021. So like September until November of 2021, right here. And it's just crashed at the beginning of 2022. This little spike was in September of 2022. So all of 2023 has just been like here on.
Yeah, there was just a ton of acquisitions back then. Boom, 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 boom. They were just going nuts.
Yeah.
Their revenues increased by 553%.
Yes,
I mean, they were running hard. So they have had a lot of strong times. But obviously it looks bad, but I like ILIS. ILIS has always been one of my favorite companies. They're an honest company doing solid business, expanding nationally, and they're never going to go out of style. So I've always liked them.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. This is something to keep on your watch list. I mean, it's definitely at a good price point. I mean,
that's one way to think of it. It is a buying opportunity if you believe in the company.
Right, but then again, remember, now this is something that I struggled with at first. Not really struggled, but it takes a while to kind of understand that when you're buying something at 008, that consolidation point was 0015. That's a lot of money to lose if it does go back down to that consolidation area. That's a huge percentage. It doesn't sound like a lot. It's a fraction of a penny, but percentage-wise,
this is why we always say, unless you know, and we never do, what direction the stock's going, you don't buy everything at once. Because if it falls, you can actually feel good and say, oh my God, look how much I can get now. And you buy another 30%, 1/3 the price you paid for the other one. Yeah, you did get stuck, but you didn't buy everything, because when you buy everything, you only want it to go one direction. And every time it goes the other direction, you feel miserable. But if an opportunity awaits you in either direction, it's a different trading game. And the risk factor is a lot more controllable. As she was saying, you can lose a lot of money like that.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it's on a downtrend right now, but keep an eye on it for some news, because when this volume does spike like majorly, like it did over here at
Is
the
that an
like last
all-time
fall.
low? Is that an all-time low, Taylor?
All-time low, it looks like, was way over here, and it was like at 0006, because I marked it last time we looked at it.
Okay. And where
Yeah,
are we at right now? We're at 0008.
we're 0008.
Oh, so we're a long ways from the low. A
Yeah.
long ways. Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep an eye on that, folks. Even good companies are getting hammered now, and there's only one way to go when you get hammered. That's down. So until you know for fact, be cautious. Be very cautious. All right, let's jump into our next one for us. Boy, I'm liking this. Next one is Fless. All right, let's see what I can remember here about Fless. Let me take a few pictures here real quick so I can get a glance. Okay, refresh my memory there. We are looking at a pink on the OTC. She's current. She's got one of those validated pieces of information. We don't have the other one. If you're a day trader, not that vital. But if you get stuck holding it, you're going to wish you had as much validated information as you could get. Fless is an auto parts for less group company. She finished the day at just under a penny and a half. Ooh, lost about 1/4 of her value today. But as Taylor was saying, at these prices down here, 25% is just a smidge. I mean, that's not very big move at all. All right, let's see what we've got here. First off, they're an online automotive company. They just bought another company, Lyft, I think. They've got 2 divisions right now. And when I was looking at the news, I saw, I think it's over here, as a matter of fact, it wasn't in the news. There wasn't a whole lot of news, as I'll show you over here. This is from February. Now, we could go all the way back there if you're doing a deep dive, but we're looking at what's going on right now. So where am I going to get my information? The most recent financial. And I'm telling you all the time, don't go doing Google searches. Just dive into a financial and you say, oh, but there's so much. Here's a sneaky way to do it. Just put in 2023. Or even put in the month in 2023. Wherever that's located, you're going to find that current information out of all the information. So that's what I've done here. So there was a couple things I had poked out that we could look at real quick. And all I got to do is fly through these and I will see them. I think the first one was financials. I don't remember all that. Oh, hell, she's up there. That's why we're missing it. All right, right here. 2023 July, we were at 271,000. There's no zeros here. 271,000 in assets. January, just about a year ago, we were about double that. Our liabilities, they've jumped by about 6 million. Our revenues, at the end of July, we were at 59 million. Oh, geez. A year ago, no, that's not 59 million. There's no zeros here. This is 59,000. That there is 1.3 million a year ago. That's a huge drop in revenues. And then I had something. Now, this is where you can actually see the warrants. Remember, we were saying, well, the warrants are going to be more shares on the market down the road. Well, here you go. This will tell you how many preferred A warrants, and then you got the B warrants. You can get the information right there. Now, there was something here for the 3 months ended July. The company has purchased approximately 20% of its inventory and its items for sale from third parties from 3 different vendors, which means their profit margin should start growing from that buy right there. We don't know how much they bought, but they got them at a 20% discount. So you can get news like that. You know, you just kind of keep going through. It can be a little redundant, but try going through Google, trying to figure out how to find all the information you're looking for. Let's see if we had any other disclosures over here that were recent. No, nothing since here, but we'll take a look at that. That's an incorporation. How about this Form 4? Form 4s are always cool because these are when the management acquire or dispose of shares. We're interested if they purchase, that would be a P right there, or if they sell, that's an S. Any other letter is something else, and there's a lot of ways. They deal with options, restricted shares, benefits. So if it's not a P or an S, we're really not concerned. So, I mean, we are, but directly we're not. Let's see what the relative volume was here on FLEST. Not much of a move from 174,000 to 177,000. We went up 3,000 shares today. Outstanding share count, we've got a low float. 6.9 million is all we have outstanding. I don't care how much the insiders have. We got a low float. So they tell us we have 5.2 million. That's looking pretty good. Market cap is severely low. When you have a low float, you multiply the float times the price to get your market cap. Well, if you have a real low float, you're going to have a real low market cap. And that's why I don't really like talking about market caps, because unless your company's got the same amount of shares my company does, comparing them just doesn't seem to make sense to me. But in either case, it is at 124,000. Financials for the company, we've pretty much already looked at, but on the annual basis, you can see they have fallen. They had a climb up to 2022. That January is the end of their fiscal year. Start of this year, they fell all the way back down to 4 million. And I do believe that covers everything we needed to see except the chart. Let's check out fleas.
Okay, is it the right one? All right, so is this it? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, that looks very.
Sorry. My bad. I was on the wrong one. I thought I was. I was like,
That's
wait,
okay.
it's not moving.
We should be recognizing. If we weren't recognizing it didn't change, we weren't paying attention.
I
That
know.
looks good. I like that.
So yeah, so this is the daily on this FLES. I'm pretty sure there were, and you have to be careful when you're typing these in. Just a little side note for everyone, especially if you're on TradingView, there are different ones, especially on the OTC. It makes it look like make sure you pick the right one, because I've made that mistake before.
I did
So
that today. I reported news and said this is currently at 95 cents, and they said it was a $43 billion merger. And I went,
oh,
that's got to be a misprint. Well, I went and checked.
you were on the
I got the ticker wrong. The price was
yeah.
$28 a share. So yeah, it's real easy. Make sure you get the right ticker. It makes all
Yeah,
the
definitely.
difference in the world.
That was just a side note. Like, so anyway, I marked these off. We hadn't looked at this before. I kind of looked around just to see. So I'm on the 4-hour now. All right. So you can see the 200 is way up here at 10 cents. Okay.
Whoa.
And that's on the 4-hour chart. We're very, very far. And this is,
Yeah, we are.
yeah. So here, I mean, it's not perfect, but it kind of illustrates we had like some support here for a little bit. When we broke through that, we have kind of like this, now we have a consolidation area. You see it kind of went right back up to that when we had that big spike in volume. That was, I guess it was this past Monday, would it have been? Yeah, the 11th. So we had this, a lot of volume, and we're just kind of coming back down here. So we're kind of just in this area where we need to get above that 3-cent mark if we're going to have a chance. Right now, these are EMAs down here. They are lined up properly, all obviously except for the 200, which is at 10 cents, which is insanity. So we're just kind of hanging out here, but the volume's also tapering off. So
To me, it looks like she came down, she found her floor, she waited because there was nothing she could do until some SMA got close. She had no strength. 50 got close. She took her opportunity as soon as it got flat. She was smart. She doesn't want to fall again. She's jumped. Now she's got to ride this wave like a surfer up to that 200. If she's coming off the floor, this could be a good time to look at it. She's showing a change of trend. It's been a long time since she's broke through the 50. So
1 hour looks like it might have a little bit more promise, because we've kind of had a pattern forming here, and you can see a little more clearly that we kind of have this consolidation area, and this looks pretty nice here. And we get this big jump. Oh, this could be a wedge forming. We could come right back up here. We're gonna have to get over this. So yeah, this, like I said, this is the 1 hour. Doesn't look as bad, but 4 hour.
When I
Um,
see a
we
big
we have
jump,
some. There's potential.
exactly,
Um,
she's worth watching is the bottom line. She has got
absolutely.
everything looking like she could continue. We never know what's going to happen, but you got to find the clouds
The,
on the horizon if you're looking for rain. There's clouds right there. You you ready to jump into the next one?
I am. I was looking. You already had HMLA up. Okay.
I do exactly. We're trying to get you more stocks, folks. All
Yeah.
right.
Sorry. Yeah. Just cut me off if I'm talking too much.
No, we're doing good. We don't want to go too fast, but we do have to go faster. So, and it's
Okay.
hard not to talk faster when you're thinking about going faster. So we
Yeah.
don't mean to be acting like we've had 12 cups of coffee. It's only been 8. I promise. All right, we are looking at Himalaya Technologies. This came from Velmore. She's been with me for so long. She is always bringing us interesting stocks, and they are very well priced. These are always down in the low areas, so you can make some good profits. You catch these when they're heated up. Himalaya's HMLA, she's at 0009. I love to catch stocks at 001. It's my favorite price. To me, going from 001 to 002 is the most smallest common sense move, and you're making 100% just like that. You get the 003, that's 200% profits. I love that price. She didn't move today. Well, maybe she did. She just didn't end up anywhere by the end of the day. She's at 0%. She's pink, current, got one of the validated pieces of information. Now, I'm going to look at this one a little differently because I saw it a little differently. Look at this news. It came out December 14th. I don't know what the news is. We'll take a look at that in a second here. But down here, they got a disclaimer, right? There are currently no merger agreements, plans of merger, or investment agreements signed between Himalaya Technologies, Inc. and any target acquisition. All right, so this is December 14th. And while we're here, the company has a minority investment in FOMO Worldwide, ticker FOMC. They're a holdings
FOMO.
company. Huh?
Never mind.
FOMO, yeah, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the name. So here we are on December 14th. Well, I found this. This came out on December 12th, before that news press. Right here, this second amendment to Form 8K filed December 13th announces that we signed a memorandum of understanding on December 14th with the SE Florida-based manufacturer of analog signs, postal equipment, and other products to negotiate and finance a business combination. So we've got a merger somehow going on here. And this was put out before the news. So this is the whole point of doing due diligence, folks. They may say they got nothing going on the 14th, when on the 12th, they told you of a merger deal they had, but it's not in the news. I had to come over here and find it in a filing. And I did this quick. That's what I call QD, quick diligence. Before these shows, you guys start throwing me these tickers real quick. Man, I got like 5 minutes maybe to find enough information to make it worth your while. So you've got to learn these quick ways to get information, because when you're trading through the day, you don't have time to deep analyze. Day traders don't care about the management. We don't. We don't care about the share structure. We don't. It helps if it's a low float, but what we're looking at is momentum. We're catching a wave. We're setting up to catch a wave. Like a surfer, you're getting your board out there and you're waiting for the right one. You don't have to hit every one that comes to you. So we do have a merger on the table here. We're going to have to look for more information. I haven't done any more search. I only got 5 minutes into it. Now, the company's a holdings company. What sector do they work in? I don't know. You tell me. Company completes FINRA corporate actions review to add mobile apps to their social networks to go viral. Companies launches in-food technologies to feed the world with vertical farming. Himalaya Technologies pursues specialty contractor and construction acquisitions in the Southeast. You tell me what sector they're in. So they're a holdings company doing a lot of different things. Now, this is September, November, December. That is all current news, folks. Taking a look at the relative volume for the company, there's an explosion, right? We're going from 2.3 million to over 11 million. That's like 4 times 400% on a relative volume. Share structure is average. We're not going to complain about it. 233 million outstanding. Insiders own some, 18 million. We get the rest, 214 million. Market cap, real low, 209,000 because they got a real low price. Financials for Himalaya. We got nothing on the annual. We got nothing on the quarterly. We got nothing in the bank. God, we got 35,000. There are 3 zeros up here we got to add. 35,000 for total assets, total liabilities, 1.1 million. Do the math there, you end up with 1.1 million deficit. That means the stock doesn't have any value right now. It's in the minus. So that's why it's real low right now. So we need some revenues coming in, some more due diligence. They've got a lot of deals that they've just made. We see they're about ready to make another deal, I'm guessing. So more due diligence to see if those companies are each making money. If they're all making money when these things close, I don't know. Sometimes it takes months for things to close. It'll run when you hear the news, and then it'll be 6 months later when they close it. And there'll just be a hiccup on the chart. Whoop, because it ran virgin hearing. Virgin hearing always seems to get the best unless it is a really good thing. I don't think we had anything else to cover here. Oh, let's see what we got. I think I jumped into this one, didn't I? That's where I found it. Just poking my head in. These are 8Ks amended. That's what the A there stands for. It means that the original 8K that was put in, which is what they said back December 13th. So these were all amended. I don't know the differences between each one, but the most current is the one you need to pay attention to. And we got a Form 4 here too. What happened here? Was this, I don't know. There's no P or S there, so I'm not interested. So let's take a look at HMLA's chart. See if she broke the 001.
Okay, so we have looked at this before. So I'm glad I'm starting to mark these. So this is when we last looked at it. I just put this here just for reference so we can see what it's done since then. I had this marked 0002 because that was the lowest I could find. We have like a little support at 0005, but this area that I've kind of identified between the 0007 and 001. Once it gets above that, we're kind of in that like, okay, we might be able to catch up because right now the 200 is at 0013. That's pretty close. I mean, that's a very, very, very small. We're talking 4 decimal points. Okay, so
and
away.
That's definitely an increase in volume. My goodness, that's a nice spike.
That was yesterday. We're looking at the daily chart. That happened yesterday, and this is still increasing. And we have 2 green. We're opening here, we're closing up here. So we did hit that 0012, very close to this 200 here. So it looks like it's trying to come out of this consolidation area like it did before, which is why we looked at it before. It might have been Velmore that brought this up.
I bet that looks sweet down in the lower time frames. She's got to be breaking out on every single one of them.
This is the 15. So
I don't like that.
Well, I mean, I'm just let's look around. Let's find one that we can find. See, here's the hour. This is very barcodey because of just where we are. We're in the 000s down here.
Right.
So that's
right.
Look like that.
I forgot that. I forgot where we were. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, no problem. So it does look like it kind of is trying to break out. If you look, I mean, if you squint, this could look like a bull flag. I mean, I try to look at
if you squint, if you have a cup of a drink, it doesn't look bad.
Right. If you look a certain way, maybe, yeah. But honestly, though, it does have some potential. Like we are above all those other 3 EMAs over here. They're closing in on each other, and again, that's because of where we are. We're in the 000s, and they're pretty close together. Unless we're having a big move. When we're not having a big move, they're going to be closer together. That makes sense. That's how we learn all these things. And now the 200 is starting to, flatten out. We're not quite as sharp as we are now. We are starting to kind of flatten out, like you talk about a lot, John. So
yeah,
we need to catch that. And then I think if we do, that's probably going to be some resistance, probably is what I'm guessing. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does have potential. It could. I mean, we need some
What
more
I would
volume,
look
some more.
for, I'd look for a strong day to spike through the 200 and then
Hmm.
crash right behind it. And that will give it enough tug on the 200 to pull it up. It'll
Hmm.
self-correct it. And once it goes flat, now I'm gone. Now I've got steady flat ground to jump onto, and then we'll get a nice run. And that's when you get to your double three and double four and fives and who knows where. But we do have to get over the 200. That's
Yeah,
an
and
absolute.
especially on these larger time frames too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got to say there. So basically, yesterday when we had that big spike in volume, we were 0001 away from that 200. That's how close it was, almost there. That looks like a lot, but it's 0001 away from that 200. So
That's,
we're
right.
close,
That's
very
the
close to it.
smallest movement on the chart. There is nothing
Exactly.
smaller.
Yeah. So that's that one. Now we're SNNC.
Yes,
Moving on.
I was poking my head trying to get some information real quick here. You can come along with me. All right. So this is NNC Sabonica.
SNNC.
Yeah, even my tongue gets it wrong, but you guys can see it. So, overlook my tongue. So this is Sabonic. I can't even get the name right. Finished at about a penny and a half. And she says she's up 50% today. That's a good push. She's at a nice price for this to start running. Another penny, 100% gain. You buy near a penny, it only takes that much move to make 100%. You buy at 10 cents, it's got to go all the way to 20 cents. Isn't it easier to move a penny or a penny and a half? Pink current, we got all that validated information here. And just at a quick glance, because we're talking about it, just disclosures, so we don't have any 10Qs over here, but they do have that. All right, let's see what we got going here. Relative volume. There's about 400% increase going from 314,000 over the last 30 days to 1.3 million a day. Share structure, 109 million total, 59 million, over half of it is owned by the insiders, over half of it. And we get the other less than half, about 50 million. Market cap, 1.2 million. Taking a look at the financials quickly, they don't have much to show here. At the end of 2022, their fiscal year ends in August. They were at $6,000. Thank God for those 3 zeros. Sure wasn't enough to pay anybody. Quarterly, there's nothing going on here, folks. So we're waiting for some revenues to come in, and I don't see Shell Company and I don't see Shell Risk over here. I don't know why. They made 9,000. They got money on the books, so they're not a Shell Risk. They're not a Shell Company. They're keeping their head above water, barely. They got $9,000 in cash and cash equivalents, 1.1 million in assets, 831. So we got a little bit of shareholder equity here, 329,000, which is better than deficit. Bottom line. We just had an annual report come out. Yep, that came out yesterday. Now, as I said, this is a disclosure, not a 10K. Disclosures look real simple. They're just, now this has got a good amount of information for a disclosure, but that's what they look like. But it is not audited. They're not using CPAs and stuff like that. Your 10Ks, your 10Qs are. So there's probably a lot of information in there. That's where you're going to get it. And use your search. If you know what you're looking for, then put the word in there and see if you can find it. Remember, use different words. Split could be consolidation. There's different words that they do use. We got no new filings down here. Let's check out that news then. We're looking for catalysts. We got catalysts. Yes, we do. Company to enter into manufacturing agreement with major extraction partner for on-site oil production. And then a month ago, the company's gearing up for revenue through its white label manufacturing, wholesale distribution, and opening of its first retail location. Okay. I'm looking at on-site oil production and I'm thinking black oil, Texas, coming up through the ground. It's not what they're talking about. This is probably a CBD oil. let's jump into this because I see the word cannabis down there, which puts everything in perspective. Yes, they are creating CBD oil, CBN, CBG, Delta 8, Delta 9, THC. Um, there's like over 100 CBDs, folks. They just all get called CBDs, but each one has got a separate name. And each one does something different to you or for you. They can work on you psychologically, they can work on you physically, and your body knows what to do with them. Once the government allowed us to start doing science, just in the last 5 years, we have discovered CBD receptors in our body, and they're smart. You give yourself CBDs and it knows where to send them. You got an achy knee, it sends it to that knee. You got stress and can't sleep, that's what it handles. They broke it down now, though, like CBN is one. That's what makes you sleepy when you smoke a joint. That's the CBN. Well, they just pulled that out. So you don't have to get high. You can just get sleepy. It's a sleep medicine. So you can just
Are
buy.
they doing more and more research about that? Because that's really interesting about the receptors.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of information. I get it from what I read. So
Mhm.
it's all out there, folks. If I say anything you're interested in, go check it out on Google or whatever
That's
search
really
engine.
interesting to me. Yeah, for sure.
So they've got lots of different oils that they're doing on site. And this is big business. Now, there's lots of different ways to extract it too, folks. And every company thinks there's ways the best. Some do it with water, some do it with heat, some do it with butane, some do it with, there's lots of different ways. And they patent them. And they're each going to have a different
Oh.
flavor, a different smoothness, different side effects. You know, there's each one has its advantages. So let's see how big this deal is. Upon full execution of the agreement, we will disclose the partner's information. So it's hush hush now. We don't know the name and the details regarding our clients and their revenues. It is anticipated that the company will generate annual top line revenue approaching $1 million. What was the
So
revenues,
what
Nicole?
they're selling is the business of extraction? Is that and their research? Is that their
No,
product? They don't actually sell the
no, they're going to be selling the products. You
Gotcha.
will find with cannabis companies, 99% of them are vertical. They grow it, they harvest it, they extract it, they
Got
package
it.
it, they sell it. So they're liable, they're responsible. This is the only way we could be sure of the quality. You got to
Well, I
make
was wondering if this was one of those third-party kind of testing thing. That's something different, right?
Yeah, right. They have
Okay,
companies that test the quality to make sure you've got good, and then you get that stamp of approval on there. And
gotcha.
right now, I think like CVS, I can't remember the ticker for it. CVS is a company. It's called CVS, and they're the only company as of 2018, as far as I know, that got the GRAS generally accepted as safe for food seal from the FDA for their CBD oil because of its purity. It's called
Oh,
golden CBD because it is so pure. So we do already have testing out there. There's a lot of qualified. Just don't buy oil that says CBD. Make sure it's legitimate. Do your research, folks. There is good quality CBDs and you'll feel the difference. If you're not feeling it, you ain't getting the right stuff. That's all there is. It's like
I didn't
marijuana.
realize that it was regulated by the FDA.
If it's quality, you have to go through everything if you want to be sold on the shelves as grass. You know, you've been looked at by
Mhm.
somebody. It's the
Right, but
best
like
you can
like
get.
vitamins and supplements, for example, they're not regulated by the FDA.
Well, it's not a
People don't
matter
know
of
that.
approved. It is a matter of generally accepted as safe. So
Oh,
we
okay.
know you're not going to puke from them. You're not going to get headaches. There's been no problems.
Like there's nothing dangerous in there,
Right,
what you're
right,
saying.
right.
Gotcha.
But you can't make any claims with grass that it cures
Mhm.
this or takes care of that. It's for general overall
Correct.
well-being. But there's a lot of empirical evidence. People will tell you, oh yeah, it's the same thing with the marijuana. If you don't feel the THC, you didn't get the good stuff. If you ain't feeling it, you ain't got it. So just do your research, folks.
Okay.
All right. So you can see the company's invested in that. I do believe they do more though. So let's see what they do. Sabonica is a Nevada corporation founded in 1999, located in Scottsdale. It specializes in creating and selling premium next generation wellness products, right, in the consumer packaging goods space, in addition to mainstream supplements and its hangover shot, NoHo. Now, this is interesting, folks. So, I do remember reading somewhere along the way that this company was involved in the background with uh, hot, the hot shot. Hangover shot NoHo. The company is producing kratom and hemp derived Delta 89 products, Acacia mushroom edibles. They're doing a lot here, folks. So the company has lots of businesses that they're working with, but it's just in Nevada. They haven't gone into any others, so you couldn't call them a multi state operator. Let me see relative volume. We looked at that. I think we actually covered everything except the news, maybe. I wanted to check back and see what was recent. Gearing up for revenue, provides updates, terms of agreement with All Star Health, Time Cannabis, the Canadian cannabis retail market. Is this
Something dated Friday, December 8th by any chance?
so? They're dealing with a Canadian company. It's always interesting for me to see an American cannabis company dealing with a Canadian cannabis company because we've got a border there and the laws are totally different. Totally legal in Canada, 100% legal, anything, everything over there. Over here, go across the state line, you're in trouble. What date was that?
Oh, Friday, December 8th,
December 8th. We got nothing here. We got
or
nothing
maybe the day
there.
before.
No, nothing. Yeah, I do. I look around. I got wide lenses on. No, there is no filings. There is all we had is the eagerness and the anticipation, most likely for those annual reports to be coming out just a
Okay.
couple days before it did. That's my guess. So let's go take a look now at SNNC.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I asked was because of this big spike in volume, and it had had a ton of movement that day. The lowest was 0086 all the way to 0.0239. That is a huge move. Is it not a
Yes,
huge
it
move?
is.
Feels like a huge move to me.
It is. Well, it is. You're getting used to it. Oh,
Yeah,
look
I'm
at that.
like, wow, that's crazy because we were down here around, less than a penny or less than a penny. I marked this off at exactly 1 cent. So
Yep.
we're down here like under a cent all the way up to two over 2 cents, point
Over two.
zero
So
two
it's
three.
over 100%.
So
Slip.
well over 100%, like
Yep.
130% or whatever.
And I'll tell you something, folks. We take that for granted as penny stock traders. Look, I'm in Discord and these guys are trading stocks that are expensive up there. How often do you think they see a 100% run on the stocks they're trading? Never. You don't
No,
see a 56, 110, a $300 stock double in a day. Doesn't happen. So, that's why when we're looking at 40, 60, 80% gains, take them. Don't get greedy, folks. These are huge gains that us
yeah.
little players can be taking.
And now that we kind of broke out of this, I saw this wedge pattern forming here. This was on the daily. It kind of started in August. This was pretty nice. We hit this floor, came back up. What I'm really interested in, keep an eye on this because if you look at the lows of these days, and then the highs, and these lows were pretty predictable because we're right around a penny. You pick
Yeah.
it up for right around a penny, and we're coming up here multiple times above the 2 cent mark. This has happened multiple days in a row, 100% move,
And
many
that is
days
a
in a
great
row.
buy price. A penny. I
Like
mean, and that's its floor. That's like,
literally, yeah, for the last week, it has done it every day practically for the last week. 100% move.
right.
Plus.
And she's getting higher. She's getting
Mhm.
momentum. She's like on this trampoline, getting higher and
Yeah,
higher.
and it's I haven't really seen it to where it's happened so many days in a row that you're getting down to this very predictable floor and coming up here
So
above
this
2
is
cents.
a day trader's dream.
Right,
You watch
absolutely.
this every day. You wait for it to crash, get in, ride it up. You know where its ceiling is going to be
Mm,
about. Take it, wait it for it to fall, get in the next day. That makes trading easy. Look at
Yeah,
those bounces.
look at all these. This is the 1 hour. So, I mean, we've hit this so many times. It does go a little bit below a penny, but the lowest, like
Yeah.
but right around a penny is still it's fine when you're going above 2 cents because here's 2 cents marked right here
Hmm.
and here's 1 cent. Look how many times it's done that A
Right,
penny
that's a
to 2
channel.
pennies. Penny to
That's
2
a,
and that's a nice channel too, yeah.
right, that's
And
100% gain. Bing,
yeah,
bing, bing, bing,
from
bing.
here to here, 100%. And this is like 130% or something. So it's been doing this a lot. That is just I love that. That's a nice one to watch for a good day trade. When this gets down to a penny, grab it. I
Yeah.
mean, that
Now,
hey, wait, I can't tell you what to do. I'm just saying I like this.
right, right. That's okay. Exactly. And we're not talking, experiment. Just put $50 down on it or 100. I don't know what's little for you, but don't gamble. Test it, see if it bounces, and then take your winnings and compound it. The next time, if you put in 50 and you doubled, take your 100, put that in. Have some fun and then take some profit out and start to build it up. But
Mhm.
she looks like she could actually catch some momentum too. If she breaks
Mhm.
through that two, who knows what
Yeah,
she's going to do? She's
we're
right there
right.
at the 200.
Yeah, we're closing the days right around that 200 on the daily chart almost every day for the past week or two.
It's in the
Oh,
hot
week and
zone.
a half. This is a good one to watch. Keep
Yeah,
an eye on
I'm
this
glad
for
you brought.
sure.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this one.
I
This
like
is
this a lot.
for many days. I can keep an eye on it, and she's ready to break out. And every day
Mhm.
she stalls, it's 100% bounce. So it's like, I'll wait around here. Yeah, I'll wait around. Whenever you
Right.
want to break out, take your time. All right, we've got time for another one. This is BIXT. I think this came from oh, I don't know. I'll let you figure that out, Taylor. This
Okay, I
is
got you.
Bioxytran. Wait a minute. I think he did put it up. Stock Guru. Thank you, Stock Guru. This is on the middle tier. God, we rarely get to see anything on the QB. And this is when a stock starts to get a little bit of
Yeah,
respect. This is where they have to audit their financials. It's the rules. They have to be at least at a penny. They've got criteria. They've got a report. This is the first place you're getting respectable stocks that you can invest in. Pinks, that's risky investment. Get the difference between trading and investing. Pinks are risky investments. Take it from someone who's learned the hard way. QBs is where you start to get some footing. Think of that as the 200 getting level. The pink is a steep 200, folks. So we were here at about 16 cents today, 8% gains, verified profile and transfer agent. So QB gives you those verified numbers because the CPA looks at the financials. There's your verified information, verified transfer agent. This is looking good. Independent directors is listed here. One of their rules is if you have aspirations of uplist and if you have plans, you got to put these over here. Got to have independent directors to uplist. And here on the OTC market, you got to list them if you plan. So that may be in one of their filings. Who knows which one? All right, let's start off with the relative volume. Just under double. They're not big numbers, but you did go from 93,000 to 176,000. Share structure, not bad. 155 million. Wow. Insiders got the lion's share, 116. I didn't mean thousand, 155 million. Lion's share is 116 million. That leaves us with under 40 million out of that 155. That's good. They're holding most of the shares. So we've got a smaller amount of shares on the market than it looks like. Market cap for the company, we're at 22, 23 million. Financials, we got nothing quarterly or annually. I was right. We got nothing quarterly. And what do we got in the bank? About 80,000, 189 in assets, 1.6 million in liabilities. That gives us, the shareholders, a bag of debt. 1.4 million we're holding. All right, disclosures. What do we got here? We don't have anything real recent, but I'm always interested. Right? What?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was just talking to myself. Sorry.
Oh, right. I interrupt myself sometimes that way. I was recording. Thank you very much. This is acquire. This is a, wait a minute. A is not. That's something else. Now you can always see down here, it'll give you a reason for what's going on here. It's not real clear though. Well, they did acquire 77,000 shares, but it doesn't look like a purchase, so I'm not really zooming in on that. I don't see anything else here. We got nothing here in the filings. Let's check out that news. Most recent news came out in October. That's pretty big. Bioxytran gets broad patent coverage on 60 plus viruses. Right. So, oh, I don't know why this escaped me. I just interviewed the CEO just a couple weeks ago. It's like, this sounds real familiar. I know this. We talked about this patent. The patent was real big. It covers 60 different viruses. The technology they have is looking like it's going to work real well for what they're doing. And so it looks like it should work real well with these other problems because they all run on the same sort of platform, if you will. I'm not a scientist, but they're only focused in on 1, 2, or 3 of them, but they're protecting. So nobody else jumps into those markets. They've protected all 60 of those markets, but I don't see anything else here new. And we just looked at the disclosures. Yeah. Volume. So what was there left to look at? I think we looked at everything. So I don't see any real catalyst right now. She is starting to climb, but the company has, what was it? I'm thinking about the interview now. The devices, the science. See, they've got 2 different products. One is for people who have strokes. They've got this way of making a molecule of oxygen super small, and it gathers oxygen as it goes through the body. And if you have a stroke and there's a clot and air can't get through because it's too big, these little molecules do. And it keeps your brain breathing. And he says it works so well that people are not going to believe they've had a stroke. And they're going to say, no, I don't need to go to the hospital. No, you do. It's still there. You've got to go. It's going to be like that. And then they've got another one. It escapes me right now. But new catalyst, I don't see anything going on. The company is solid. They've got solid technology. They've got solid products that they're working forward with. But I don't see anything else going on here. But we do have a climbing chart. So let's take a look at that chart.
Oh, okay. Before you say climbing, let's look at the big picture. We did look at this on back in August. So that was around here when it was doing that before. By the way, I zoomed in here. Our cup and handle pattern did not play out. It was invalidated. Did not work.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, look at that.
But
Yeah,
you know what? That's
on
okay.
that one, I'm sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. No. That was the day we looked at it. It was coming way up, and I said, "Well, let's see if we can get," because all this, by the way, was already marked. We've looked at this, so these were marked. I said that we need to get into this area. We did not. It did not happen.
No, it did
But
not.
we're not really in any spot, like just big picture wise. I will go to the smaller time frame, so relax. This was our low. Our low was something crazy like let's say 0006 to what were we? This was about, I didn't mark this one, about 2 cents. So this was this little consolidation. I will mark that out. Right here, I already had this marked. I'm trying to figure out why. This must have been, oh, okay. So this that I had marked was like a support area from back here when we were looking at it in August. So it looks like we broke through that.
Oh, yeah.
But then we came back up just today, or maybe the day before a little bit. Let's say.
Yep.
So we did break that support, but we regained it real fast. So that's a good sign. Yeah. So there was our cup and handle that did not play out. That's okay. So you would have just gotten out of that. So that's what we're looking at on the 1 hour. So I guess just that, we've had all this green move here, but we're coming back down from that, from up here. But we are above the 200 on the 1 hour, so that is good.
That's a very strong, determined move there. There's nothing gradual about that. That's a solid darn surge. It is a breakout. It definitely should be watched because it's doing something different. It's not falling anymore. So
it's not falling anymore, and we're above here. I like that we're above 12 cents now. That's very good. It's interesting to see it on different time frames. Like here's the daily time frame. These are big candles.
Yeah, they are. A lot more attention, and you can see the volume was all good.
But we are, and it has a lot of potential to move up because look how far away we are from this 200 at 26 cents. That's almost 100% move from where we are now, but more than that from down here. So wow, This is great. And all of these EMAs are in the wrong order. So if we can cross these over, 1, 2, and then this one. I mean, we are starting to curl up on this 9. That's good. Let's see what 4-hour. Yeah, see, we already got one on the 4-hour right there.
Yep.
Golden cross. There's one on the 4-hour already.
Yep.
And we're headed up towards here. Yeah, so this looks good. I mean, it was on a downtrend for such a long time and even broke that support, but it did come right back up. So that's good.
Yeah, it came
We're
back up strong. It just didn't curve around. It said, I'm tired of falling, swimming for the surface.
And yeah, and today's candle was good confirmation of what happened, because just here it'd be like, well, it's been red, we're still below here, and all this, we're below all these EMAs. Well, we got a nice increase in volume with a candle, and we even surpassed yesterday's highs right now. So higher highs. This is looking really good on the daily chart. And so when it looks good on a higher time frame, that's even better. 4-hour chart, we're still having that. We're higher than we closed yesterday, which was higher than we closed day before. So
yeah, 3 bars is definitely a confirmation to me. 4 bars.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when the 200, the closer you get to it, it's a magnetic attraction. There is a pull, because why do I say that? It's not magic. It's not the chart does squat. It's us. Everybody has a 200-day SMA on their chart virtually. So we're all looking at it, feeling the same exact thing. The light's been red. You know it's going to turn green. Your foot's twitching on the brake, waiting to hit that gas. We're all doing it. And that's what makes it magical. When you start seeing something move fast towards the 200, everybody's watching it.
Yeah, keep an eye on this. I like this one a lot. I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on this one.
Another one to definitely put on the watch list. She's in the right zone. She's in the right place. She's doing something different. Right now, that's what we need. Something different. All right. We're at 5 o'clock, but it looks like there's only one other stock here been requested. Don't go sneaking any in now, folks. I'm putting somebody at the end of the line. Sorry, last customer. Sorry. We're going to look at Belmore's. She's got JZZI up. I did post some news about this today. They've had a lot of news. There we go. Let's start off with the price, right? Here we got ourselves a 0005 stock, folks. 25% gains today, which means she moved from 0004 to 0005. And there is no middle ground. That's where you move. Dink, just like that, 25%. Buy at 5 and it falls to 4, you just lost 20%. Dink, like that. So we had a good day today. She's on the pink. She's current. Got that validated information. Quick glance to see if we have 10 Qs over here. Don't see any 10 Qs. So we've got validated information. Relative volume. She jumped. Went from 1.6 million to 8.7 million. That's a nice increase in volume. Share structure. Whoa. It's atrocious. We have about 5 billion outstanding. The insiders own about 3/4 billion. That leaves us over 4 billion shares. Big thing about that, not only is the fact that you don't get a very big piece in your shares, shareholder value is way down there, but it screams reverse split. Whenever the company starts to hit some success, the first thing they're going to want to do is make themselves be seen more. There's not a lot of traders looking at 000 stocks. And if they get the 008 and look like they're going to break a penny, they may want to put themselves up near the dollar range since they've climbed this far so much with us. What would real investors think about us? And boom, you're going to have a reverse split because they want to uplist or something, or at least get their price up so other investors look at them. So that is always a potential threat with high, big number floats. Market cap, about 2 million there. Oh, I gotta forget. In my videos, I can click these. StreamYard does not like me doing that. Financials for the company. Hey, look at this. I like that. Always get excited when I see a company starting to make revenues because that's what we're waiting for. We don't want these companies that go on indefinitely as shell companies, which is going to change this year, folks. September 2024. I don't know if you remember. It was September 2022, I think. The SEC came out with a whole bunch of rules that put a whole bunch of companies on the expert market. They didn't meet the criteria, and woo! I mean, it was huge. It was like 700 companies all disappeared. Could have been more than that. Well, they're doing it again September this year for shell companies, companies that have been shell for too long. You have to get business. You can't stay there forever telling people you're going to do this and then have the deal break and then do a public offering, then a reverse split, public offering, reverse split. That's milking the investors. We're not going to let you do that anymore. So it may be like SPACs. They may only get 18 to 24 months to be a shell company on the OTC. And if they don't get a deal and get business, you're out of here, buddy. You failed. So we've got that to look forward to, which could thin out the ranks. It may. They had a big quarter here. Normally when I see a jump like that, it tells me they sold something and it fell into revenues. It's good. It's money in. There's no problem there, but I probably wouldn't think of it as revenues. They ended the last quarter for this last quarter, 24,000 with 9,000 profit. They're making revenues. That's all we can say. They were doing nothing. They got nothing. Oh God, they got nothing. Zero in assets. That's a little scary. Oh man, total liability, 6.8 million. And they got no assets and they got no money in the bank. Folks, there's a difference between being broke and being in debt. This company isn't broke, they are in debt, and we're the ones holding it. 6.8 million deficit for the stockholders. Let's see now. I know they got a lot going on. So did I pull that up? No, get that out of there. All right, this is their news. I reported news that came out today. The company's subsidiary, Travel Zen, to acquire an additional 300 resort vacation rental weeks. Now, it sounds to me like they're getting these, what do they call those, timeshares? Stuff like that. It sounds like timeshares, and they're getting control of these, buying a bunch of these weeks up, and they can sell them, and they're selling them at huge profit margins. But you go back and you can see lots of news here, folks. Jazz Technology and Oxygen Mortgage execute letter of intent for new real estate joint venture. Jazz Technology projects 5.5 million in revenue from planned regional real estate development in South Carolina. That's just one, $5.5 million. Jazz Technology signs agreement to acquire 9.95 acres for planned development of 50-unit residential project in South Carolina. That's that one. Upon completion, looks like it's getting bigger, right? We're now up to $10 million. Acquires Portfolio Partners, Inc. and its subsidiary, Travel Zen. So they just got Travel Zen, and right here, Travel Zen has already made another deal. So you can see they're doing a lot. And I'm sure if you go back, you'll see they're probably doing more. Bottom line is, all of these subsidiaries sound like they're making money or doing business and should have revenues coming in. And that's what we're seeing here. Revenues are just starting. They are showing us that they're involved with more. Now, I will say this, Pinks, you have to take their news with a grain of salt. Look at news from 2 years ago. See if they made any deals. Are those deals live or did they die? Look at 3 years ago. Did they make deals? Did they go live or did they die? If you see a company that's making deals years ago that just failed and another one that failed, maybe you don't want to play anything but the bounce. Virgin Hearing, first time people hear the news, like today, I think Jazz bounced, didn't it? Yeah, she went up 20 bounce. Woohoo! She went up one peg, but it was a 25% gain if the bid moved up to 0.005. But the company's at a low price. She's just started making money. She has got lots of news here, lots of deals there. Sounds like they're all doing money-making business. This may not be a bad opportunity. Let's see what that chart looks like. Is there any heat over there? Did I look at everything here? Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Whoops, wrong one. Sorry. I had to So this is another barcodey one, but we did look at this before. We looked at it on November 16th. So that was around here. So basically the last time we looked at it, it had, a big spike in volume. It had gone from, I tried to mark these off the best I can, but it's very difficult because
Nobody's quoting you. Nobody's
Well,
holding
in
it.
the 000, so I'm gonna let you know, like, so when we first looked at it, we're around like 0003, which, by the way, was the lowest we got today. And it ran all the way up to, this was 0008. So 0003 to 0008. That's what, almost a 200% move, 100 and something percent move. Okay. So then this is the daily chart, which is kind of back and forth, but it has sold off. So it has opened at like a 0006, closing at 0004. Today opened at 0005, closed at like 0004 or 5. It doesn't go any farther than the 4 decimal places. So I can't go any farther. So 1 hour.
That's a shame too, because there was a lot of news from the time we looked at it last until now. Lots of deals. 3 deals I think they made, and I think they just made their 4th deal. And they're acquiring properties. So it's sad to see it's falling. Looks like she's doing a
But today
routine on
this
the
happened.
200.
This is the 1 hour chart from today. So I mean, this happened today. We had a couple of green candles, but that's about it. We're not even up here into the 6 to 8 range, 0006 to 0008.
But she has come to the 200 and she's bouncing on the
Yeah.
200,
Yeah,
which is
depending
good.
on.
It looks like she just broke out. She took a run. We normally expect it to come back and tap it a couple times and test it, unless it's really got some strength. And these 000s don't normally have any strength at all. They're like toddlers walking for the first time. So you got to expect them to fall back down to the 200 and then
Yeah.
tap on the top a few times before it takes off. But 000 stocks a few times can be months. That's why I really don't like looking at 000 stocks under 0005. They can be down there for a long, long time.
But at least it is closing right at or above the 200 on the daily chart. So that's good news. I mean, yeah, it does fall below it, but is closing right around there. And it's very flat. Hasn't moved much.
Yeah, I mean, I think she has potential to watch because I think she's at a floor for common sense bounce. She's sitting on that 200. The 200 is curving up. You can see it, right?
Yeah, this
So
is the 4 hour.
yeah, so you can see it, and that's really what you're looking at, a little longer period. You know, it's nice if when you're in the boat, you've got to look at every turn in front of you. But at the map, you look at if you're going northeast, west, or south. You're just picking the direction. And she looks like she's going south, but it looks like she's going to bounce off that 200. Hopefully, looks like I'd say 75% chance with all her news, she's starting to look juicy. But again,
Yeah.
I would go back and look to see and look at the subsidiaries. Do as much research as you can about travel, whatever that was, and the other companies. See what you can learn about them. These private companies, there's normally not a lot of information out there. But if you can find a lot of information that they're doing business, that's a good, verification that they're doing something strong.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of information. I mean, oh, there was remind me later to ask you about something that I found on TradingView. It's not important for the live stream. I just have to say it out loud or I'll forget.
Okay, now we got it recorded. We won't forget. Great. We're passing Post-its, huh? Post-its live. I love it. All right, so there's another one that, if you're interested in triple OT stocks, this one has potential. It's got the boxes ticked. And if you're not investing and you're playing a trade, this looks like it's got potential. And that's all we can ever look for in these stocks is potential. We find value. That's not really a payoff. We know a lot of stocks that have value that are falling. We know a lot of companies that are doing good business that are falling. What we've really got to play, folks, are the technicals. You've got to find stocks that people are probably looking at because it's about ready to go through to 200. Volume was coming in. All of us see that. That's why I like to look at the charts because I know that's where everybody else is looking. Not a lot of people like to read news. And then when you read it, you got to make a call. Is this hot? Is this worthy enough of investing in? Well, look at the chart. Oh my God, it's been falling. Oh, do you want to invest? I don't think so. Right. Nobody else does either. So find a chart that looks juicy. We've seen quite a few juicy charts here. They have potential. We're not saying they're guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. Unless, of course, you don't do your due diligence, chances are you're going to lose your money. Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging around. I appreciate you staying with me, Taylor. I know you got a hubby there who's bugging you for dinner. She's got him locked outside of the room. We
Right?
will be here next. Yeah. As long as it's not a holiday, folks. I haven't checked my calendar, but I think we're good for next
We're
Thursday.
good.
Me and Taylor will be here sharing our thoughts on your stocks. Hope to see you here. We'll see you then. Bye bye.
Bye. Home Alone.